I thought this was supposed to be about granny porn. Where?
What's up, people? So we're live and we're making the video. Good morning, afternoon to the Hit the Bid people, the Pro Trader Elite people, and anybody out there around the world in the sound of my voice. One more day, and this is day 6 of our UVXY watch. Now, if you bought it just like we did with an anticipation of it making a move into the speech, there it went. And what got proved one more time was that there's no reason to own UVXY. Even in the day where there's a little anticipation or an anticipation of, what's the word I'm looking for? An anticipation of some uncertainty. But once she starts talking, you see her in the back, she's talking. I crush your head. I crush it. I crush your head. I crush her head. I squeeze your face. Even with the anticipation. And it was a nice trade. You know, we made a whopping 10 cents on it. We were looking for $10.06 because that was the aftermarket struggle it had on Friday. And now, again, nothing really to take home. But the more important thing is if it actually can stay green today, maybe we'll have a little bit of a reason to take a pause in the market. Now, it'd be a big day if it does stay green. Right now, the Qs are 110.38, and we're unable to go down. But more importantly, it's the trades from Thursday and Friday that follow through today that's maddening. And again, as a day trader, you're going to be pissed off most of the time because stocks that you take losses on maybe a day or so ago suddenly are the greatest stocks in the world, and that's the day you're not actually playing them. A la the RIG today, your US Steel, and your Alcoa, which we were looking for the trifecta of those stocks because they generally tend to run together. So we were looking for those stocks to make a move after the Thursday. They showed some strength, but they didn't follow through on Friday. But you want to know why they didn't follow through on Friday? Manipulation. That's right. That's usually the answer to all your questions. So if you're paranoid and you're disheartened and you're down on the market because you think it's all manipulated, guess what, buddy? You're absolutely right. It's all manipulated. It's all bullshit. But you have to learn how to play the bullshit, take the money when they give it to you, and try to make, sense of this market is basically impossible. Because once you start trying to make sense of it and start to figure out what these stocks do and what their earnings reports are, I'll give you a RIG. I'll give you an feye. Both companies reported awful earnings. Both stocks have made monster moves. Then I got drug stocks that have come out and said, our drug doesn't work. We don't even know why we're a real company anymore. The FDA doesn't like us. The SEC doesn't like us. And the stocks rally 60, 70% off lows anyway, like your SRPT and your RLYP and your Clovis. And then there was my favorite one was this company EXCL. Now, again, none of these are endorsements to buy. We'll get to the buy list later. The EXCL came out with a report that said their drug does work. Everything's awesome. And the stock went down 20 cents that day. But then they released earnings a couple of days later, and the stock went green on the earnings report, and then the stock goes up 100%. So again, if you try to make sense of it, you're going to drive yourself insane. Just try to be relatively happy, because you think I'm happy that I sold my acad because I didn't want to own a biotech. I was really happy. I bought it at $29.80. We got the breakout through the 30.35, and it went up to $32 that day, and we sold it. Swing trade, 3 or 4 day event, you got what you want, but then the stock goes up 9 more points after you get out. And that's also a sign that they were still in a bull market. If stocks continuously go up after you get out of them, that's a sign that we're in a bull market. So this market, again, UVXY is starting to battle its way back up to the 990 again. But this is the greatest market in the world because I know we're not going up through new highs yet, but we're certainly not going down. So the only way you're going to lose money in this market, first of all, is if you buy some awful biotech stocks that happens to report something and they get destroyed and they don't come back. There's one chance of losing money. The other chance is that you get into a company that really, and it's hard to find a stock that's in a downtrend, but the only way you're going to lose money is over trading right now. Let's take, for example, I'll go back, and I told this story again this morning, but I'll tell it again, the WLL. I liked it. I bought it at $12.50 because I was getting pissed off that it kept going up every day. I had it from like 8 and change, and I sold it at 10, thought I was a champion. Then it goes back, and it's breaking $12.50. I'm thinking it's going to 15 at least, right? Next thing you know, I top tick the bitch. No, sorry, I went to 1280 that day. And it pulls back to 1250. I probably was thinking about selling it, but I was like, it's just a starter lot, 100 shares, right? The idea was I bought 100 shares because it's a win-win scenario in this market. You buy 100 shares of something, either it keeps going up and you got a little bit of it and you make some money, or it pulls back and you only have 100 shares of it, so you're not nervous, so you get to buy some more. So we bought some more on the pullback. And guess what? It pulled back the next day. And then I was getting to the point where like, damn, maybe I should have just dumped the whole thing. But I was like, you know what? I'll give it to 950. I'll give it to 950 because my target is still $18 on the stock, and that was for, the end of the year. So am I going to sweat it out over a 3 or 4 day period? No. So I bought more. And then I bought some more. And then it starts going back up, and I bought more at $11.33. And I was like, you know what? If it gets back to $12.50, I'll dump it. But at that point, my only shares that I had at $12.50 were that first 100 shares. I got some at $11.50. I got some at $11.33. I had some at $10.50. I even had some at $10. And then I bought, the $11.33 was on the way back up because that was a breakout price that day. Anyway, and then you got the pot, and then you got the WMB, and then you got the ACAD, and then you got the EXEL, and then you got the FEYE, and then you got the US Steel, and then you get the ATI, and then you get the Alcoa, and then you get the MRO, and then you get the WMB. Are you writing these down? Because every one of those stocks will probably be at least 10% higher 6 months from now. And the Dow is still right on course to hit 20,000 by our target date of January 20th, 2017. That's been our target. I still think we're going to go there. And now here's the thing. If we roll over, and again, I'm not a big fan of the Dow. I like talking about the Dow because everybody knows the Dow. But I think the Qs are on a program right now to get to all-time highs, which is 120. I don't know how it's going to get there, when it's going to get there, but it could be there next week. Or it can never get there. But I'll tell you something. All my bullishness will change if the goddamn UVXY could actually stay green maybe 2 days in a row. 3 days we might be in the midst of some sort of utter catastrophe. But now we're past the Yellen meeting, the Yellen meeting already. Now we're going to start looking for Brexit, right? Fuck a Brexit. Did we care about Greece and the decoupling and the blah, blah, blah? Greece was going out of business. Portugal was going out of business. Spain was going out of business. We had the Brexit, we had the euro collapsing, the euro not collapsing, the yuan collapsing, the Japanese currency collapsing, the Korea's launching nuclear weapons. None of it mattered. So this woman talking about maybe we could possibly raise interest rates. Let me tell you a little bit about interest rates. I've been trading since I've been trading my whole life, let's say it. Bought my first stock in 1987. I told this story last week. But in 1997, 1998, 1999, even 2000 and 2001, when the market started going back down, guess what? We were getting 5.75%. 5.75% in a money market sweep account. So if our money wasn't being used in the market, it gets swept into the money market account, and we made 5.75%. What's up? And guess what? That was 1999, when the market went up every freaking day. Well, let's say 1998 to 2000. We went up for 18 straight months, and guess what? We were getting paid in the bank too. So why can't that exist again in this dojo? No? No? You think interest rates going to 1%? Guess what, guys? Right now, the reason, again, the market can't go down is if you take $1,000 and put it in a bank, a year later, you've got $10. And you got to pay taxes on the $10 too. So would you rather have your $1,000 putting it into maybe some rig or Alcoa or some US Steel, some potash or some ATI with a little chance of losing money, but a chance to make 10 to 15 to 20% to 100% on your money, a la the reason the market can't go down, because there's nowhere else to put your money. And that continues to be the case. Now remember, if the UVXY starts to show us some signs that maybe the market's topped out, and the only way we're going to get hurt is if something happens at 2 o'clock in the morning and Central Park gets annihilated by a dirty bomb, you're probably going to wake up with the S&P futures down 350 points and the Dow down 1,000 points. But guess what? That'll be the new reconstruction, right? We'll rally around the cause. We'll rally around the new shock and awe. One of the best moves the market's ever had was when we started dropping bombs on Afghanistan. Shock and awe. So, and then we'll also have, every stock that has something to do with, every drug stock and every pharmaceutical company has something to do with nuclear, radiation poison. Those will start going up. And then you'll be buying companies that make, radiation suits. And the bull market will begin in that market. Next thing you know, Apple will invent something that cures radiation poisoning, and then they'll have a self-driving car that could resist nuclear fallout, and next thing you know, Apple will be $300 and the Dow will be at 50,000, and everybody was like,
But I thought a nuclear bomb went off.
and then we'll scratch nuclear bomb off the list of things that could take the market down, and then we'll only be with one thing left, and I think you know where I'm going. Godzilla. Unless Godzilla comes out of the Hudson fucking River and starts eating the shit out of everybody and breaking down buildings. And again, that might only be a segregated individual event in New York. The rest of the country might rally around New York and they'll start buying stocks and the market will go up, and then we'll have no reason that the market could go down except when they feel like flipping the switch on the algo that takes the market down, because that's the only thing that makes the market go down. It's when we use that word a lot, because there's 9 guys that control this whole thing. There's the government and the 8 advisors. And when they decide they feel like shaking the market up, flash crash it, because right now it's only boom or bust. We're either grinding and grinding and grinding up, or we're having monster down days. There's no in between. So if you're going to keep preparing for that one down day, you're probably going to lose money trying to short stocks, preparing for that one down day. That may never happen. All right. I'll keep it short and sweet. Good luck. You know where to find me. And again, another profitable day, and suck it.